We live in a world addicted to quick fixes. 10 steps to change your life. Just find your why. But what they don't tell you is this. Transformation doesn't come from sudden sparks of motivation. It comes from consistency, quiet, daily, often unglamorous consistency. The kind of effort that feels boring when no one's watching. The kind of effort that doesn't get applause. But over time, that discipline builds strength, confidence, and trust in yourself. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about not giving up when it gets hard. Think about the most successful people you admire. The ones who seem grounded, in control, capable. Do you really believe they're motivated every single day? No. What they have is structure, a system, a commitment to do what matters, especially when they don't feel like it. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. And when you learn to act without needing to feel like it, you become unstoppable. Because your actions are no longer ruled by your emotions. They're ruled by your values. And there's something else, something deeper. Discipline builds self-respect. When you follow through on the commitments you make to yourself, you begin to trust you. And that trust becomes unshakable. It's not about control or punishment. It's about protection. Discipline protects your energy from being drained by things that don't matter. It protects your time from being wasted. It protects your dreams from dying in procrastination. When you choose discipline, you're not restricting your freedom. You're creating it. Still, let's be honest. Discipline isn't glamorous. There are no fireworks. No sudden dopamine hit. Some days, it feels like dragging your feet through mud. But those are the days that build your character. Those are the days that matter the most. Anyone can work hard when they feel good. But what defines your growth is how you show up when you don't. Discipline is the quiet whisper that says, I'll keep going, even when everything in you wants to stop. It's the difference between temporary change and lifelong transformation. And here's the truth no one talks about. Discipline makes life easier, not harder. When you have systems, routines, habits, and boundaries, you stop living in chaos. You start waking up with clarity. You start knowing what needs to be done. No more relying on willpower. No more decision fatigue. Just flow. Discipline creates space in your life. Space to breathe. Space to rest. Space to create. Space to be present. It may feel hard at first, but over time, it becomes freedom. So if you're waiting to feel motivated, stop. Motivation might show up tomorrow, or next week, or never. But you can show up today, with your feet on the floor, with your heart set on growth, with the quiet, steady commitment to become someone you respect. That's where real power lives, not in the highs, but in the quiet discipline of choosing what matters again and again. Start now. Not when it's perfect, not when it's easy, but now, because you don't need to feel inspired to win. You just need to decide, I am worth the effort. My future is worth the discipline, and I won't wait for motivation to prove it. Let's get something clear. Motivation is emotional. It comes in waves. You feel fired up on Sunday night, you make a plan, and then Monday morning hits and it's gone. That workout you were excited about suddenly feels like torture. That business idea you were dreaming of now seems too risky. And so you wait. You wait for the feeling to return. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But every time you wait, you lose momentum. You break trust with yourself. You start thinking, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong. You've just been sold a lie. That success is about feeling good. But successful people, they don't act based on emotion. They act based on values, on commitment, on discipline. That's the difference. Now let's talk about what discipline really is. It's not punishment. It's not suffering. It's freedom. Because when you build discipline, you don't need to negotiate with yourself every morning. You don't need to ask, do I feel like it? You've already decided. Discipline is making a promise to yourself and keeping it over and over again, even when it's boring, even when you're tired, even when nobody's watching, especially when nobody's watching, because that's where your identity is built, in the unseen hours, in the quiet moments when no one's clapping, no one's cheering, and you choose to show up anyway. Here's a real story. A friend of mine used to struggle with consistency. He'd start a project, get super excited, and burn out in a week. He kept saying, I just need to find my motivation again. But every time, it would disappear. Until one day, he made a shift. He decided to stop chasing motivation and start building habits. He committed to writing for 30 minutes a day, no matter what, even if he was exhausted, even if he didn't know what to write. And at first, it sucked. The writing was bad. He didn't feel productive, but he kept going. 30 minutes. Every day, rain or shine. And after 60 days, something clicked. His focus improved. His creativity came back. Not because of a burst of motivation, but because of momentum. And that's the magic of discipline. It builds while motivation fades. So how do you build that kind of discipline in your own life? Start with small, unbreakable habits. Think of them like anchors. They ground your day. First, create a morning routine you can do even on your worst days. Not an extreme one, just 3 or 4 things that center you. Wake up at the same time. Make your bed. Drink a glass of water. Write down your top 3 priorities. That's it. It's not about doing more. It's about doing it consistently. Then build in non-negotiables. Habits that you commit to no matter how you feel. Go for a walk. Read 10 pages. Journal for 5 minutes. The goal isn't perfection. It's consistency. You're teaching your brain that how you feel doesn't control what you do. You're rewriting your identity. Now let's address the resistance, because it will come. There will be days you don't want to. Days you're stressed. Days you're overwhelmed. That's normal. But remember this. You're not trying to feel good in the moment. You're trying to feel proud at the end of the day. And that pride doesn't come from doing what's easy. It comes from doing what you said you would do. Discipline gives you power over your habits, over your time, over your future. And once you taste that kind of freedom, you'll never want to go back to relying on motivation again. So if you've been stuck, waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect mood, stop. That moment may never come. The only thing that's guaranteed is this moment right now and what you do with it. You don't need to feel inspired. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. Build small. Build smart. Build with discipline. Because discipline is what gets results. It's what transforms lives. And it's the reason you don't need to feel motivated to win. You just need to show up again and again until the actions become your identity, until showing up becomes who you are. And once that happens, nothing can stop you.